Welcome to A Peek Inside. I'm Tony Santiago, a student in the Broadcasting and Electronic Media Department at Pikes State College. This program takes you inside the events and careers of lives and people around the Pikes Peak region. Our guest today is Zach. He is a law enforcement officer with the Mounted Patrol. All right, Zach, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming on. I guess our first question, and my first question would be, what made you decide to pursue a career in mounted police work?
So I went to UCCS actually for criminal justice. I took a few intro classes my freshman year and absolutely fell in love with the program, and I had some really good professors that kind of helped me along the way. And then I always had a passion for horses. I grew up a little bit around them at a camp, and I just kind of fell back into it when I moved out to Colorado and just had a passion for it, and then became a sheriff's deputy, and then they had a mounted unit program, and then I decided to hop on with that just last fall.
Awesome. All right. What is the exact job, duty, and description for a mounted police officer?
Yeah, so we do a lot of things. So a big thing we do is a lot of community engagements. So we'll go out and meet the public. We kind of help break that barrier down between the public and officers, because we're much more approachable on a horse than somebody might see an officer in a car and say, hey, I don't want to go talk to that guy, but I want to go pet that horse. So we definitely break that down. We do a lot of parades. We do a lot of color guard presentations, and then we do a lot of search and rescue stuff, search and rescue, and then we do a lot of crowd control as well if we ever need to with riots and stuff.
Awesome. What kind of now, I know you guys have training. We'll get into that a little bit later. What kind of training, say, I want my horse to go be a deputy. What kind of training do they have to go through? Yeah,
so all of our county horses are required to pass some sort of test to become a certified horse in our mounted unit academy. So not only do we have to go through the academy, but our horses have to be able to pass our particular requirements through the academy to be able to work out in the public. So we have a lot of people we have our own county horses, and we have a lot of people that own their personal horses that will have to take their horses through our academy to make sure that they are properly trained and will be able to handle all the public and all the hands and all the people coming up to pet them and stuff, to be able to desensitize them to that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Given the state of the world and as crazy as things are getting, a lot of violence out there, people committing crimes, just unspeakable crimes, what kind of steps, we'll get into that after the break. We're going to run out of time here soon, but I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on.
Of course.
When we get back, we'll finish that question. All right.
How prepared is your family if a wildfire shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or an earthquake? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to load their minds. Dare to explore. Dare to STEM. Learn more at She Can STEM.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Welcome back to A Peek Inside. I'm Tony from the Broadcasting Electronic Media Department at Pikes Peak State College. We're joined today by Zach. All right, can you tell us a little bit about the resources and procedures your department has for victims of crimes?
Yeah, so when any sort of large traumatic event happens, we have our victim advocates that go out with them, so they have a whole bunch of resources and a whole bunch of organizations that can help you through all your stuff, and they'll give you a pamphlet with all of those resources you want to get in contact with. And we also have like on-call chaplains that'll be there if you are spiritual and if you need to talk to somebody who can kind of guide you through that with you and your experience that you go through. So it's really awesome because I know a lot of people go through super traumatic events and they don't really know what to do and they don't know how to process it all, and they have people there that have gone through things like that and with their own lives and being able to help others. So it's really cool to have that kind of personal person just be like, that's not necessarily a law enforcement officer, to kind of help break that barrier down and say, hey, like, I'm here for you and we can get you the help that you need. So it's really cool.
Awesome. So without giving up too many details, because as we want to make sure for your safety and for your job and your partner's safety, what kind of crimes does your unit see or deal with most often?
I think with the Mounted Unit, I think we deal a lot with, unfortunately, drugs are a huge issue right now, and I think that's kind of what we see the most. We do a lot of we take our horses down by the creeks and stuff, and we kind of push all the trespassers out, and a lot of them have weapons that they're not supposed to, that they have a lot of drugs, and just kind of it's kind of just a rundown area. So the trespassing, the drugs, and then there's, of course, unfortunately with drugs there comes violence. So it's like dealing with those things and being super cautious and careful with all of those things, especially on horseback. I mean, that brings a whole different safety feature or safety aspect to being able to conduct proper law enforcement procedures. So,
understood. So what kind of crime-solving advancements is your department using?
Yeah, so like I said, a little bit with crowd control and stuff with the riots, we are able to push people out of certain areas. If we want to clear an alley or a streetway, we have different techniques and different procedures of peeling people off the wall. If we need to go get a car out that's stuck in a crowd, we have particular training for that and how to be able to escort that car out. We have extra training every month that we do to make sure that we're staying on top of things. Like search and rescue stuff, we have formations and we have different joint operations with search and rescue that we're building, and just being able to go above and beyond, and we're able to reach out to where cars can't go. Like we can work way out east and be able to get to people who that cars can't go up mountains and stuff, and we have the ability to go way deep in the woods to find somebody with missing people as well. So
awesome.
Yeah.
All right. I guess the last question. How can you quickly describe a day for you and your horse as a work day?
So a typical work day, I would obviously go down to, so I use a county horse, so I'd go down, I'd feed him, and then we'd put a saddle on him, get him ready to go, and then wherever we decide to go that day, a lot of time we do, like I said earlier, go down by the creeks, so we go push all the trespassers out. So we'll go down, we'll park close, and we'll go down, and then anybody that's not supposed to be there, we'll make conversation. We'll kind of ask them what they're doing. We'll give them the opportunity to leave. We'll make sure they don't have any warrants or anything. And then if they do or don't, we'll kind of go from that. We'll give them the opportunity to pack up all their stuff. But we try to do it as safely and efficiently as possible. And then we'll also have patrol guys helping us assist, because obviously we can't throw somebody on the back and take them off.
Well, that's all the time we have for that. We'll get back to it after the break.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate it.
A lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
It took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back to A Peek Inside. I'm Tony from the Broadcasting and Electronic Media Department at Pikes Peak State College. We're joined today by Zach. All right, Zach, so what kind of events does your unit get involved in?
Yeah, so for like community engagements, we do like, we actually have some Teen Academy presentations we do. We've done some like show and tells for like Boy Scouts and kind of talking about what we do from day to day and bring out the horses and show them. We do a lot of rodeos. It's coming up on rodeo season, so we'll be presenting the colors for that and providing like security and law enforcement presence. I actually just did presenting the colors for the Monster Jam last weekend. We have the Western Street Breakfast coming up downtown, and then some the Pikes Peak Bus rodeos coming up, and then a few other throughout the summer. So we'll stay super busy. We won't patrol as much, but we'll be doing kind of a lot of the community engagements, like I said, and presenting the colors for all of these large events that ask us to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. For the viewers, what kind of crisis negotiation techniques or training have you had to learn or go through to get your job?
Yeah, in our academy, we go through a huge de-escalation presentation and training. And we do a lot of like reality-based training of like crisis events, and just be able to. It's huge in our job. Is we always want to de-escalate. We never want to go further than that. But if I can talk you down and spend a half hour talking to you about what's kind of going on, and obviously like if I'm dealing with a crisis, they're having one of the worst days of their life, and I don't want to make that any worse, and I'm here to help, whether whatever it may be. So being able to take that training in the academy, and then we also have opportunities to become like crisis negotiators and go through like even more extensive training, and then we also have we can be on the crisis intervention team where they actually send us out for a week and we go through like a deep dive of like mental health crisis and people who are going through just like I said, the worst days of their life, and being able to like take what they're saying and be able to use that and help constructively have a better outcome throughout the day.
Understood. All right. What is your favorite de-escalation technique?
I like to anything serious. I like to bring humor into it. I like to think that I'm kind of funny. So, but like just being able to like just be super personal, like being able to like, hey, like behind the badge, I'm a human being, and I am genuinely here to help you, and that's why I got into this job, is because I do care so much about people. I care about people's well-being and safety and security, and I want to be that. I want to be that person. So that's definitely something that I want to.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have for A Peek Inside. I'd like to thank our guest, Zach. I'm Tony, a student in the Broadcasting and Electronic Media Department at Pikes Peak State College. For more information on this program, you can find it at pikespeak.edu/BEM. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.